Eva, I think that we can start with the presentation and then we will take questions. Then Maya will present herself and we will take questions. Okay, so we are listening.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for today's invitation and presentation. For all of you listening to me, I'm Eva Shara-Lambus. I am the coordinator of medical admissions at the European University. I apologize for that. Let me shut it down a little bit. You're listening to me better now, right? Okay, let's see a few things about Cyprus. We are the first safest small country in the world, second best climate worldwide with 340 days of shine every year, a rising power in international education. 80% of the population is bilingual, Greek and English language. We are very proud to belong to Europe's largest higher education group, Galileo Global Education, with 42 institutions and 110,000 students worldwide. Here, let's see our campus. We are located in Nikosia, as you can see, the capital of Cyprus, in a very safe area and very close to all the services you may need. Some quick facts about European University. There are over 75 different nationalities, 6,500 students at the moment, over 18,000 alumni students, and 90 bachelor, master's, and PhD programs. We are the first university in Cyprus to be rated by QS top universities, assessed with 5 stars in 6 different areas. Why someone choose European University Cyprus? We have been rated by Times Higher University EPANC ranking among the 101 universities for innovation, entrepreneurship, and infrastructure. Microsoft has selected European University Cyprus to establish the only Microsoft Innovation Center in Cyprus, one of the 120 Microsoft Innovation Centers around the world. We are a very job-focused university, the only university in Cyprus with the highest distinction in 5 stars employability, and 82% of our graduates are in employment at their field of their study within 6 months after graduating. Let's see a few things about our School of Medicine, a center of excellence in medical sciences, a 6-year program in English language with hands-on experience using robot simulation and starting clinical training from year 1 in all public and private hospitals in Nikosia. We have 2 Nobel Prize winners in our faculty. We are approved by the Educational Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates. We are preparing students for USMLE exams, and also we are recognized by the European Parliament and Council of the IMI. Also, our program, Doctor of Medicine, is fully accredited through the process of the World Federation of Medical Education, WFME. There is a very large network for practical experience during the summer period. In more than 10 countries, such as America, England, Greece, and Israel, students can go there and do their summer extensions in the hospitals. And a few things about our dentistry program. It's the first and only dentistry program in Cyprus at the moment, 5-year taught in English, with the dental clinic on campus, so all of our students can do their clinical practice there, and also is approved by the Association of dental education in Europe. Finally, I want to show you a few points of how to apply in European university for medicine and dentistry studies. We would like to have from you an application, your high school leaving certificate with an average grade of 18 and above, or the equivalency of your grading system. You all must have passed biology plus one of the following subjects as chemistry, maths, or physics, proof of English language, a personal statement, letter of recommendation, and for those of you who are applying for medicine, you will be invited for an interview, a 20-minute interview with the faculty of our school. A copy valid of your passport and one small photograph. So this is a few things about our university and how to apply to our School of Medicine. I'm open to all of your questions now.
Thank you. Maya, do you want to present yourself and your experience in the university before we take questions?
Yes, of course. So my name is Maya Goldstein. I'm on my third year in EUC right now. I took the medical course on April 3 years ago, I guess. My experience at the university is, I think it's really changed because, to be honest, the university is still changing because it's a new university. They're always involving and making changes for our benefits. They're always trying to be the best correlated to the situation, to the newest technology things that we can use as students for our education. So my experience as a student also changed as well from the first year to this year now. What I can tell you is that I'm really enjoying my studying at TUC. I think it's different than any other university because, especially because all this, the using of robots, like you saw the pictures that Eva showed you, this is all real, first of all to say. Our labs has the newest equipment, and our professors using the newest things at the, I don't know, the use of the OR, and even for anatomy, we have a very nice models, and which I found very helpful during my studying. Also to study in Cyprus as an Israeli, it's really convenient because it's so close and you can go really often to Israel. Like for me, the first year, I think I went over 10 times, like almost every 3 weeks. I did like a Friday dinner at home and then went back to Cyprus on Sunday and back to school on Monday. So that was really nice, and the flights are cheap. So if you like to be spoiled by your family and you want to stay close, so that's a big benefit. Also the language, almost everyone knows English there, so that's really comfortable that you can just talk in English. And I think the variety of students, I loved it. Like that was one of the main reasons for me to go to Cyprus, because there are not so many Israelis. Some of you will probably find it as not as a benefit, because I don't know, as Israeli, you would like to be surrounded by Israelis. But for me, like my best friends are from Germany, from Iceland, from Sweden, from I don't know, Switzerland, which I love it, because you learn to know different cultures and different mentality and different people. And now I have friends from all Europe that you can, I don't know, travel after the corona and see the world in their eyes. So yeah, I think that's another benefit. And if you have any specific question, then just feel to ask. If it's education matter or Cyprus, life in Cyprus matter.
Okay, so let's start with the questions. Some already wrote some questions. The first one is for you, Eva. The hospitals are created by GCI.
Yes, I can hear you now, yes.
Eva, do you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now, yes.
Are your hospitals accredited by JCI? Do you know?
JCI, can I have the full explanation of the acronym?
So I will send it to you, no problem. Students are asking if they took 5 units in English Bagrut in Israel, is it enough as an English proficiency?
Well, we will have to check that with the British Council if the curriculum of the English language that they've been taught there is equivalent to any other certificate here. But we can check that.
I think it is because I took 5 units and I didn't have any problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
The students who did the prep course, do they still have to have biology in their high school diploma? Students who did our prep
No, as long as you don't have a biology in your high school diploma, and after that you do a foundation course or a preparation course that is a knowledge to us, yes, you can still apply.
Okay. Maya, can you speak a bit about, students are asking about life in Nicosia, you know, not only studies, the campus, sport.
So first of all, it really depends on your personality. There's everything, like there's tons of coffee places, tons of restaurants, there is a gym every other corner. Also the beach is about a 45 minutes drive, which is it's not so fun because you live in an island close to the beach and you're not really close to the beach. So some like at the beginning we got a little disappointed of it, but now we like it because if we were so close to the beach we wouldn't be able to study, I think. So that's a good thing eventually, and then you have the weekends that you can go. But again, going back to that, it depends on your personality because you can go to clubs on weekends, you can go, I don't know, go out every night if you want. But again, it depends how much effort you're willing to put in your studying. So for me personally, I used to go out maybe every other weekend, not every night and not every weekend, because I'm really focused on my studying. But if you want, it is an option. It's the studying are not that overwhelming or not that they don't took 100% of your life, which some people might think. It's always about balance. It depends how you balance your studying, how well do you study, how do you make your schedule, which is not really easy. I think for me, only on my second year, maybe even until now, I'm still trying to find my best way to study. And some days I can study for 10 or even 12 hours. And some days I can study for only 5 hours. And then I have the rest of the day to do whatever I want. So again, it really depends on how you decide to make your schedules, but there are options. There are options for everything. There are malls, there are restaurants, there are clubs, there are pubs, like everything of everything.
And students who study with you, where do they come from?
So like I mentioned before, we have a lot of Germans. We have a lot of Greek people from Greece. I think this is the majority of our class. It's almost like 50 Greece, 50, not 50, okay, but 30% Germans. And then the rest are Sweden, we have from Switzerland,
Norway.
We have
Sweden, Norway, Italy, France. This year we had a few people from Canada. A few years back, we had one student from Morocco, if I'm not mistaken.
We have one student.
Yes.
Students are asking, do you already have graduates who graduated med school?
Yeah. Yes, of course. We've already had our graduates, and everyone at the moment either is having his PhD diploma or he's already doing his specialty in a public hospital.
And the university is fully recognized in Europe?
Yes, of course it is.
Okay. Students, since you're asking, just to clarify, Eva, correct me if I'm wrong, the university was recognized by the Ministry of Health in Israel,
Yes.
And 2019, Professor Yatziv had new criteria for recognition. And the university was recently accredited by the WFME,
yes,
I think about 6-7 months ago.
Yes.
Which is an American recognition organization. And that's one of the criteria of the Ministry of Health. And we are waiting for a visit of the Ministry of Health in the university in order for it to be re-accredited. That's the situation.
Yes, that is correct. As soon as the situation with the coronavirus is a little bit better, we can conclude that.
Okay. Maya, what made you pick the University of Cyprus?
Okay, so when I started medical doctor course, I planned to go to Charles, to Prague. But when I had an interview with Dr. Moshe Cohen, I told him that I'm planning to take the USMLE, which is the license exam for United States. I don't know if there is any one of you is planning to take it. So there are only a specific university who are accredited to that you allowed to take the test after you study there, which are the Charles and Cyprus and EUC. And then I never heard about EUC before that. And then when I saw the program and the website and the pictures and the people and everything, I was really excited to see all the new things and how they are super friendly to begin with. And I thought as a medical student, which is not an easy way, I knew it's not going to be easy 6 years. I wanted to be as comfortable, as nice as possible. So that was the main reason for me to choose Cyprus over Prague. Also, I really liked all the equipment that the university used and how they always like to have the newest thing for you. And it's also really correlated and parallel to the hospitals, because in the hospital, the doctors will always have new things to use, and the medicine, obviously you probably know, is always evolving and changing, and that's the way of the university. Like every year it's different than the year before. My third year is like almost not completely, but it's very different than the third year last year. So that's what I like, that how the university is always trying to evolve and change. And second, because they're so nice and they really come third year. Like if you're willing to make an effort and if you really want to be a doctor, then they will help you to do that. And which in other universities, I heard, I don't know if that's true, that the flunk out percentages are higher. And they really make it hard on you, either by exams or by labs or any other ways, which I don't find it in EUC. I think it just, like I said, if you're willing to make an effort and you really want to be a doctor, you will get there. And that's how the professor treat us. And that's what they say. Like, and just, I think it's just nice, because it is a hard process. It's a hard way to go through it, and if you don't have a back and like someone who will support you, then it will just make it harder, and I found it in the UC really much.
Thank you, Maya. Maya, can you speak about cost, tuition fee, common expenses? How much does it cost to live and study in Nicosia?
Yeah. So I think the tuition are almost 80,000 shekels, which is almost 20,000 euros. And then about everything else, it's like I said before, it's depend on your lifestyle. So for me personally, I live at the dorms, which is another, I think 3,000 shekels per month, maybe a little less, maybe 2,000 something. And then grocery and everything. So my monthly budget without dorms and tuition is around 1,600 shekels. And then if you go out more often and if you eat outside and if, I don't know, you go to the gym, this is extras. But I think in the overall, it's around 110,000 per year shekels.
So in euros, we are speaking about an overall budget of about 26,000 euros, including everything.
Yeah, something like it.
Yes, okay. So Omar, for your question, around 26,000 euros per year. Eva, does the university allow students to do clinical rotations in their home country?
No, all the clinical rotation has to be done in Cyprus. It's a regulation that the Ministry of Education has. So all rotation has to be done in public hospitals, in Nikosia, in Limassol, or in general in all over Cyprus.
And everything is done in English?
Excuse me?
Everything is done in English?
Well, students are starting to learn Greek. So in order to communicate with the patients in the hospitals.
Yes, Maya, do you want to say something?
Yeah, now due to the corona pandemic, they let some students to do the rotation at their home countries. I know personally one of Israeli students is here in Israel and she's doing her rotation in Jerusalem. And I know the same thing with the German students.
That is a special thing due to the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's due to the pandemic, but we kind of hoping that it might stay for next year's, but no one knows. But
we will see. We will see.
Yeah. Okay. Also, about the language, which I'm sure you all, I don't know, nervous or scared or asking about. We do have Greek courses for that point, so we will be able to talk with patients at the hospitals. Obviously, it's not the same as having a fluent language in English or Hebrew. It will never be as efficient as speaking with an Israeli patient or American patient, like someone who speaks your language, but you have students with you, Greek students or Cypriot students that will always translate for you or explain you the conversation or what the patient just said or mentioned. Or so like bear in mind that you won't be the only one who doesn't know the language, and you won't be the first one and you won't be the last one. So they are aware that you don't know fluently Greek or you don't know 100% what they're talking about or mentioning. So they will come toward you. They will help you with that.
Thank you. Eva, students are asking about the dropout. Is there a dropout in the university?
At the moment, no, we don't have any dropout. We don't say that we have dropouts. Many of them, they wish to change courses within the university. For example, a few students starting last year and this year, they realized that they are not made for medicine. So they chose to do some other courses like dentistry or biomedical sciences. But most of them are choosing something else in the university.
Okay, so
can I comment about that?
Yes, please.
So it's like I said before, that the university really wants you to graduate, she really wants you to help you. And that's also how our grade is divided. So we have 40% of final exam, then 30% of midterm exam, which is in the middle of the semester. But then you have another 20% for assignment, which you have some kind of either presentation or lab report to submit, or like something to do to increase your grade. And then you also have another 10% just for participating in classes, like raising your hand or be in class and stuff like that. So it's really hard to fail if you don't want to fail. Okay, like again, if you really want to be there, you will make it.
Okay, good. Maya, do you feel that medical doctor course helped you to integrate more easily into your studies?
I think that's my favorite question. I got this question before. 100% yes. Okay, I think choosing to do medical doctor was the best decision I made. It helped me a lot. I took a biology course in school, and I was in MADA before. I volunteered in the, at MADA for almost 4 years. I always knew I want to be a doctor, and I tried to make my way as, to make it as easy as possible for me when I'll get to university. But everything I learned in a medical doctor just was something else. I every time when someone asks me this question, I say the same thing. It doesn't matter where you want to go or what did you study in school. I highly recommend to take this course, because it's not just they focused about the entrance exams. They teach you a lot of things that you will meet during the, at least especially for the first and second year. But they are helpful, like very, very helpful. Some of my friends sat in class and didn't understand what the professors are talking about, or they needed to spend more time to catch up, to fill up the gaps they missed from high school, or either they didn't study that ever before. But the fact that I came from a medical doctor with that knowledge, it helped me a lot. So it doesn't matter what university you want to go to, I highly recommend to take this course.
Thank you very much. Maya, student is asking, how is the atmosphere between the students and the professors in the university?
Very friendly, very, very friendly. Again, because like I said before, they really want you to pass the exams and make it and everything. Everyone is approachable. You can email everyone you want, every professor with any question you have. You can go on breaks and go ask questions either in between lectures or on your free time. Everyone has office hours that you can make an appointment and then go and meet and discuss on whatever you want. Some lecturers are more approachable than others, obviously, but this is a matter of personality, I guess. But yeah, they will help you with any question that you have, and not just with yes or no. They will sit and explain to you until you really get it. Yeah, I think that's it. That's answer your question, I hope.
Do you have also consultation hours that you can ask questions?
Again, it's dependent on the instructor. It's like, for example, we have some courses that we have a forum that you can ask a question and either a student answer you on that or the instructor eventually will answer. Or you can email your questions to your professor. So at the beginning of every course, we have like some kind of like what the professor expecting from you and what you're going to learn on this course and all of that. And then he gives you his email or even his phone number. So they will show, they really shows you that how they want you to communicate with them. Like, for example, now we study pharmacology, and our professor is really mad that we don't send her any emails. Like we pretending that we understood everything. Like, she wants us to communicate her. She wants us to ask questions, and that's how all the professors are. I never heard or never met someone that you wanted to ask something and they said no, or like figure it out by yourself or something like that.
Thank you. Was the entrance exam very difficult for you?
I didn't have entrance exam. We only had the medical doctor exams, which I think the university took as like the parallel, like to make sure you really know. So if you had a good grade at the medical course, then it's enough. And then the interview for some of my friends were more difficult than the others. But eventually they just want to see what kind of personality you have. They will probably ask you some questions. Like, I know of, like, one of my friends got a question of, if you have a brain, will you donate it to a baby or for an old man? And then you need to explain why. And by your explanation, they want to see what kind of personality you have or what way of thinking do you have and stuff like that. Or it can also be a knowledge questions, like things about genetics and chemistry, which again, that's why the medical doctor course really helped, because this is the kind of question you'll get. Yeah, but it shouldn't be hard. If you have good grades, and again, if you really want to do it and be accepted by the university, then you will probably. And I think they really like Israelis, so we have like bonus points in that level. That's it.
Is it very difficult to study in English?
For me personally, no, because I also speak English at home, so that was never new to me. But there are some eventually some words or some definitions that I'm like, oh wait, I never saw this word before. But you can always translate, and there's tons of different books. And if you don't understand one thing, you can find it in a different either website or another book or YouTube. I have some friends who actually literally translating all of the documents to their own language. But I think it's not really smart because eventually the exams are in English. But it's something you develop, like eventually, especially in Cyprus, because there are not many Israelis, then you have to speak in English if you want to have any friends. So you just get used to it. You develop the language, and obviously when you don't have any other choice, then you just get better, I guess. I have a friend who came with me. His English was not very good. It was like maybe basic. But just like, again, because you don't have any other option and because you want to be there and you know what you need to do to be there, then that's just work.
Thank you. Eva, can you speak a bit about the office support to the students, finding apartments and administrative support?
Yes, of course. Everyone coming in European University, either through Zoom or in person in European University, they will get any services they want to and any help they want to. Of course, there is housing services, our dorms, uni halls. Maya can also tell you about it. It's only 5 minutes walking from European universities. At the moment, we are collaborating with another 2 dorms. And if coronavirus weren't here, we had another 2 coming up in new additions of small apartments and studios. So we're there to help everyone to get the best of the services and in admission, in information, and also in housing services.
Thank you. Eva, you mentioned that you have 2 Nobel Prize winners lecturing in the university. Can you speak about that a bit?
Yes, we have Mr. Robert Hubert and Mr. Thomas Lindell. Both of them, they are with us as an EUC faculty. They are giving their expertise and knowledge for our program and also for our everyday schedule. I don't know if Maya remembers that. Some of them came in the university, and we did a ceremony. And excuse me?
You mean the Congress
yes,
week?
Yes, the Congress. And hopefully in future, we might have them teaching some lectures or some doing some guest courses.
Okay, thank you. A student is asking, I read on the website that the university accepts spring applicants. Is that also true for medical school?
No, that doesn't apply for medical and dentistry. We only get admissions once a year, every September. But they can start the procedure anytime within the year. Probably it's best to start it in January or February when you will have the first grades of your first semester in school.
Okay. You mentioned that you support the USMLE studies. Can you speak about this a bit? Because it's
yes, we are an accredited examination center for USMLE exams. Anyone who wishes to do these examinations, we are supporting them with courses and with the examination center in the university. And everyone who wishes to do that, must come to communication with the dean of the school, and she will arrange the process.
Okay, so it's possible to study for the USMLE within the university?
Yes, yes it is.
Maya, did you already start?
I am starting now. I bought the book. But yeah, I am planning to study this year and do the exam during the summer. I didn't talk with the dean yet. I do know it's an option. Yeah. Also, what I think that if, I don't know, again, if any one of you is planning to do the USMLE, but the studying in the university are very focused. They really teach you only what you need to know to be a good doctor. Not like, I don't know, nuclear physics and different kind of chemistry, which you will never hear or touch or do something with. They really focus on what you need to do to be a good doctor, period. And that's why I like it, because the third year considered to be the hardest year, like the hardest courses, the many hours than any other year. So at the beginning, that really afraid me to study for the USMLE at that time, because I think it's impossible. But what I see now, it's just even our lecturers are focusing on USMLE material. They also, some of them are actually mentioning that those of you who want to take the USMLE, this is more important. And some of them just mentioning what during the lectures. Like, so what I mean is during the lecture, I'm sitting with the USMLE book, and then on each chapter, I'm just going over and making sure that they're really covering everything. And what I mean by what I said before is just because they are so focusing on what you actually need to know as a doctor and nothing beyond, then that gives you time to have, that gives you, like, you can study for USMLE parallel to the university courses. And either by the course is covering what you need to do USMLE, or because it's not too demanding, then you can have this extra time to develop for the USMLE test. So everything is possible. And again, the university gives you that feeling that everything is possible and nothing is too overwhelming and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you. Maya, how is the atmosphere between the students coming from different nationalities?
I think it's, we don't have any competition between students, if that's the kind of question. Everyone is really friendly. Everyone is willing to help. We have a Facebook group that if we have an assignment to submit and someone didn't understand, there's always someone else that will answer. If the question is as a matter of Israeli, because a lot of people asked me that before, like, how is it to study abroad as an Israeli, because all the politic kind of thing. So again, it depends on you and how you decide to talk about this matter, or like share your opinions about things, because eventually we have students from all over the world, and even from Arab countries and from Western Jerusalem, which at the beginning was weird. I don't know, to hear they call Israel Palestina and not Israel. It was weird to me because I never like heard it before. But when eventually we all came there to study medicine, and we all came to do what we most passionate about, so no one really care. Doesn't matter if you're from Israel, if you're from Germany, if you're from Sweden, everyone very friendly, everyone willing to help. Just if you have any racist thought, then keep it to yourself, and that's it.
Thank you. Eva, when does the application start and when does it end?
Well, we are starting the admission period every January, by the end of January. And as I said before, that is most of the students will have the first semester grades. So we can see how they're doing on the grades. They can start the process now. Also, in the next coming weeks, I will have the schedule for the interviews. So as soon as someone is applying, so I will give him straight away the interview date. And it's ending the last week of September.
last week of, I'm sorry?
September.
Okay, okay, so throughout the year from January till September, it's possible to apply.
Yes, of course.
Eva, how many students are per year and how many per class?
Well, initially we were accepting around 100 and 120 students per year. The last few years, we had an increase in our new students. So we raised that number in 150 per year. Now, initially there were like 20 to 30 per class or per lab. Now, with the coronavirus, there are even fewer. And of course, all the lectures are being held online.
Thank you. Is there a difference in competition when I apply as a student, if I'm a European citizen or non-European citizen?
No, not at all. We all want to see your high school grades and your other credential. We don't see any difference if you are coming from Israel, from Italy, or from the States.
And there is also no difference in the tuition fee, correct?
Yes, no difference at all. It's 19,000 euros per year and 19,900 euros per year for dentistry.
Okay. Is the university recognized by the United States?
Yes, it is. That's why we can send students there to do their summer externships. There is a huge network with partnerships, and every summer, students can choose one hospital and go there for a few weeks and do their summer externship and practice.
Even if they are not Americans, they can do it?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
They're getting a visa for that.
So it is possible to do rotations in the United States during your medical studies?
Yes, they can apply every summer. After the second year, they can apply every summer and go there and do their summer externship.
Thank you.
Which is a very good thing, actually, if you ask me, because they are expanding their network with contacts. And most definitely some doctor from there, they can pick them up and do their specialty.
Thank you. Students, do you have more questions? We have a student without a high school diploma, but with a bachelor in science.
Yes.
Can that be?
Okay, yes, so he can proceed with the application. He can proceed with the application.
Good, good. More questions, students? Anyone? Eva, Maya, I would like to thank you very much for today. Thank you for the presentation. Maya, thank you for finding the time for us. You are the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining, students. Have a very good weekend. It was very informative. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.